know, don't you?
Yes?
I prayed I was wrong. I prayed that you didn't find out. That it was coincidence or some other reason that brought you to Los Angeles.
Cece, now that I know the truth, this is the happiest day of my life. I found my son, and now I'm going to see him.
No, Santana, you aren't. I can't let you. Not now, or not ever.
What are you doing here?
How could I stay away, Cruz? I wanted to see where the big international spy keeps all his secret equipment.
Look.
Let's see, is there some over here? Maybe in this drawer? Secret phone? Cruz, can I check the closet?
You lay off.
Why? You're afraid I'm going to find out something I already know. Won't you let go of my hands, please?
With pleasure.
You don't have to be so agreeable.
I don't think you ought to be here.
Why not?
People might begin to suspect there's a connection between the two of us.
There is a connection. You work for my father.
Your father is not you. I mean it, Eden. If we're not very careful, someone could get hurt.
In fact, if I hadn't pushed myself into one of your projects in Europe, you'd be dead right now. You didn't even send me a thank you note.
I'll thank you now to stay out of my way. And I'll stay out of yours. That way we might live to tell about it.
Well, if that's the kind of agreement you want, that's fine. Cruz, only you have to do me a favor.
Such as?
Such as I want to know about any oil potential in the channel from my father's business that you find before anyone else. That means Mason and my father.
I don't believe you.
I'm not joking. I mean it. This is very important to me.
Why?
It'll give me the edge I need at Capital Enterprises.
The executive suite? Is that where it's at for you now?
That's where it's going to be.
And what if I decline? What if I got better things to do than come running to you every time I find something?
Yeah, well, I guess I'll just have to retaliate, won't I,
Ooh,
Cruz?
you can be so mean. But of course, that's no big surprise anymore, is it?
I'll blow your cover. I'll pull everything out from underneath you. So everyone can see.
You trying to scare me, Eden?
I'm trying.
I feel like an elephant being chose off by a fly.
Well, I can see you're not convinced. Why don't you think about it and get back to me? I'm going to the beach. If you want to talk about this, come find me. You'll know where I'll be.
Kelly? Kelly?
Joe.
I'm okay. I'm alive.
Wait, Joe. Joe, I almost lost faith. I did.
You can't get rid of me that easy. You don't know that by now.
I kept hoping and hoping and hoping until I ran out of hope.
Turkey and then go to India, to Turkey, to Japan, just for one little year. They will come back and start again. There will always be a king or a queen waiting to be killed. It's their job, after all. Oh, dear. More games.
I'm engaged in a very serious activity. I'll thank you to treat it with dignity and help me if possible.
Just watch where you put those things.
Huh?
What is it?
Excuse me, I was just wondering which car I wash next. Mrs. Lockridge's or yours?
Don't wash either one of them.
They're both pretty dusty.
Well, we take pride in our dusty cars.
Okay with me, if that's the way you want it.
What's all this nonsense about dusty cars?
We'll just have them done at the car wash.
You loathe car washes.
Well, right now I prefer them.
In my notes on your idiosyncrasies, how should I catalog that? Under games with young men?
Don't ask me questions. I know what I'm doing.
What have you got against him?
Too many muscles, and he knows it.
Ah, yes.
Weren't you going to show me something to do with your little toy ship?
Since when did you have anything against men with muscles?
I wonder where Minx found him. He's arrogant.
That's probably what appealed to her about him.
What on earth are you doing?
It's not on Earth. It's at sea.
Well, shall I fill up the tub so we can play in it? Maybe I can find Lakin's little rubber ducky.
My dear, I would like you to look at a page in my grandfather's journal. It has to do with the arrival of a certain ship, the Amanda Lockridge.
Well, it's mildewed.
It smells like musk. Just like your favorite shaving lotion. You going to listen to this?
I'm not so sure.
It'll interest you. With the arrival of the Amanda Lockridge next week, the Lockridge family will assume its rightful place as one of the most influential and wealthy collectors of art in the United States.
Meaning what?
Paintings. Masterpieces. They belong to the Lockridge family. But, alas, the Amanda Lockridge never reached Santa Bárbara. It sank mysteriously one night just off the coast.
Don't you think your grandfather might have been, you know, as we say, a little fanciful?
Dottie, not a chance. No more than you or I. Now, we are on the verge of something very important, my dear.
Well, my sweet, I will leave you with your charts and your courses. I am going to finish this book if it kills me.
Hello, family.
I'm glad you're back. I've been waiting for you.
Hi, son.
What's all this here?
Heirlooms.
Well, don't leave them to me, okay? So why the call? I got back here as soon as I could.
I want to talk to you about Summer Blake.
Well, haven't we had this conversation already?
No, this is a different conversation.
Well, I'm sure I'm not going to like it any better. Go ahead.
I think Summer knows too much. Now, it might be because of your being careless, but you are in very grave danger. We all are.
I am?
All of us.
Look, if this has something to do with getting me to stop seeing her...
It doesn't. I've given up on that. But if you insist on seeing her, I wish you would use a little sense and diplomacy and try to win her over to our side.
I've already thought about that, Mother. As a matter of fact, I've done a lot of thinking about Summer lately.
I don't know if you realize it, but Summer spends a lot of time with one or another of the Catwells almost every day, and if she tells them she saw you with the coins, we're in a lot of trouble.
She won't, Mother.
Listen, son, I think that you ought to dispose of those coins as soon as possible.
You can't be found with those coins. The Catwells will press charges. This is a terribly dangerous situation. I want you to take it seriously.
I am taking it seriously, Mother.
Cece, listen to me. I don't think I'm being unreasonable, okay? I bought Brandon a small present, and I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to give it to him.
Santana.
Nothing for you to object to.
But first, I want to know how you found out he is your son.
Well, I put a combination of things together. I mean, I've seen him twice now. I saw him at the hotel, and I saw him at your birthday party. And there was something special about him. I had a feeling, a hunch, or an intuition. I just knew that there was something special about him. And then I heard that he was adopted.
Oh, I can imagine where you heard that.
Then something seemed to click to me. So I called Gina to ask her when Brandon's birthday is. And Brandon answered the phone, and he told me his birthday. And it's the same day as I gave birth in Acapulco. You know, it was a miracle that I heard it from his own lips.
And you should have told me.
Why? What good would that have done? You would have just denied it anyway. Or gotten into a rage. Actually, it's kind of ironic. You're the one that helped me put together all the pieces.
I did? How?
The day that you came over to my apartment and searched it, when Brandon was missing. You know, I thought about that later on. And I realized, even though you didn't say anything to me about it, you must have thought I'd taken him. I'm right, aren't I? Anyway, now that I have found my son, I am going to see him. And you're not going to keep us apart any longer.
No, Santana. I can't let you do this.
Not let me? You're not going to stop me. No, just stop it.
Come on.
What do you think you're doing?
I'm stopping you from making a big mistake, and it'll hurt everybody involved.
No!
Now, don't argue with me.
Now, see here, students. I want it perfectly clear that there are to be no more camels in this here classroom. Anything with more than one hump, and this applies especially to you, Mr. Writer, will be persona non, if you remember your Latin, grata, J. Perkins, Do I hear you laughing?
Yeah, Mr. Bottoms.
Well, then, do I hear you smiling? That's better. Ordinarily, I don't believe in happiness, but in this instance, I'm willing to bend my rules. Now,
What's going on here? Capwell, what are you up to?
Just taking care of your class you got here, sir.
Well, don't. The lunatics are not going to take over my asylum. Mr. Capwell, resume your seat, please.
Sir.
Now, I've done some investigating into this camel affair, as I promised I would. There are unmistakable signs that the camel's cage door at the carnival was forced open. The metal around the lock bore definite indications of tampering. Now, while it isn't sufficient to stand up in a court of law, it's more than ample to convince me that someone in my class was behind this, if I may, camel caper. Someone who took, literally, my remark that my class is no better than a herd of camels. I selected the wrong species, obviously. Thinking back, I realize that the sole person who overheard that comment was none other than Ted Capwell.
That's right, Mr. Bottoms. I believe I do remember you making a remark to that effect at one point.
Well, I heard you say it too, sir.
Yeah, and so did I. I heard it very clearly.
That's enough. I don't want to hear any more out of you. Now, this classroom still smells of that camel. And it needs to be thoroughly clean.
The janitor already came in here and cleaned up, Mr. Bottoms. I don't smell anything now. Does anybody else?
I sure don't. Neither do I don't.
Nothing at all.
Well, your olfactory problems are your parents' concern. I still smell it. I've arranged for buckets and mops and scrubbing materials, which are now right outside that door. The class project for today
will be to scrub this room down from top to bottom until there is no longer any odor of any kind. It may take longer than today. It may require weeks of washing. It will, whatever the case, be done. And while you are working, I will lecture you all on the virtues of cleanliness. Now, I suggest that you all go out into the hall and select your cleaning implements and get started. Mr. Capwell.
Yes, sir.
You see what your little prank has done to your fellow students?
Look, I had absolutely nothing to do with this whole thing.
Spare me your protestations. I only called you up here to tell you that I'm arranging a special retribution for you.
Look, please, Mr. Bottoms.
Don't open your mouth. I want you to know that I'm going to see to it somehow that before long you'll be looking back at this class and this school with infinite nostalgia. Because, Mr. Capwell, you will no longer be enrolled here.
Hi, lady.
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
Where have you been? You look great.
Hi, guys. Oh, it isn't the parachute lady. Did you just fall out of the sky today and land here on the beach?
No, I came here by car to get some sun and some peace.
Look, Summer, you were upset about the other night. I'm really sorry. See, I've been working really hard to get this certain present together for this certain person, and I wanted it to be a big surprise. I was a little upset when I dropped it and you were standing there.
How do you explain away your attitude at the table later on?
Look, well, I probably just had a couple of beers too many. I'm sorry we had an argument. Can I at least buy you lunch to make up for it? I can be great over iced tea.
I don't want lunch, thank you.
Well, then perhaps I could offer you this.
What is this?
This is a small box with a small present inside it for you.
You don't have to give me a present, Warren.
Oh, yes, I do. As a matter of fact, they just passed a new law in Santa Bárbara this week saying I absolutely have to give you a present. Come on, take it.
No, I don't want it.
Look, you keep it and you can open it later, okay?
I don't intend to open it.
Look, well then I'll open it for you. As soon as you see what's inside, you're not going to be able to resist it.
Well, look, this has been real fun talking and listening to you guys, but I think I'm gonna go.
Don't go, Eden.
No, I'm not going. I'm just relocating. Okay, give me a call, all right?
Bye-bye. Drop in again sometime, won't you? Excuse me.
Is your idea being nice?
Well, she and I don't hit it off too well, okay? Is she a friend of yours just because she's a Capwell or what?
She's a friend of mine, period. And if you want to get right down to it, Warren, you and I don't hit it off too well either, do we?
Well, we could if you'd give it a chance. Look, accepting this as a peace offering would be a good first step.
You cannot buy me, Warren.
Why, is it not expensive enough?
Your mind works in wondrous ways. I don't want a guy who thinks he can buy friendship.
Oh, great. Terrific. Look, you might want to take this to sharpen your fangs, okay?
What do you think you're doing? Let me go.
No,
Stop it.
You can struggle if you want to, but I'll win.
Let me go.
No. I care about you. I want you to hear me out.
All right. Could you still still not going to keep me from seeing my son. I'll tell you that much. You can drive me to the ends of the earth. You can drive me all over. But I know where he is now. And if I don't see him one day, I'll come back and see him the next one.
Santana, do you care about me at all?
Yes, but I care about my son, too.
Then if you care about me, you'll listen to what I have to say. It's important for us. And for little Brandon as well. Will you hear me out?
All right. All right. I'll listen.
That's all I ask.
Wherever you are, you're in my son.
Yeah, I'm probably saving you from skin cancer.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, it's me.
Thought you'd have something more to say to me.
I do, actually. Something you ought to memorize. I'm not about to let you box me in. If you or anybody else were to try to blow my cover, I'd just find another one. Get myself another job. I can survive, you know?
Oh, you can support yourself. Congratulations.
The thing you gotta remember is, before I got away, I'd get even. You got a great family behind you. That means you got a lot more to lose than I do.
You really do that?
I will if you force me to.
And how do you think you could turn my family against me?
Where to begin? For one thing, I'd make sure Mr. C found out how you borrowed against your trust fund and proceeded to blow every cent of it. And I'm sure he'd love to hear about the great lengths to which you went to get it back. I think that story alone ought to pretty well shoot down your chances of taking over Capital Enterprises.
I never thought the day would come that you would blackmail me.
Yeah, well, I didn't start this, did I? I'm just going to protect my own interests.
You know, I think the problem with you, Cruz, you serve way too many masters.
Why don't we forget about my problem? I want your assurance that you're going to leave things alone.
Well, it seems like we're at an impasse, aren't we? We hold each other hostage, Cruz.
Yeah, I guess in a way we do.
We'll have to think about this and get back to you, Cruz. I'll have to think about it real long and hard. But I'm not going to make a decision now because I'm having way too much fun. I'll get back to you and let you know what I decide.
Yeah. Fine. You know, for what it's worth, Eden, you look real good.
We have to do this.
Does anybody here have dish mayonnaise beside me?
No, I'll tell you one thing. I hate scrubbing floors.
Hey, now with me, you'll never have to give that a second thought. You'll have maids coming out of your ears.
Oh, please.
Hey, Jade, why don't you get your hubby here to hire you a maid for you, huh?
Yeah, I wonder if Mr. Bottoms would go.
Oh, by the way, class, I meant to mention, tomorrow's discussion will deal with methods of birth control. So try to restrain your natural impulses until I can tell you what to do about them. Mm-hmm.
I'd like to tell him where to go. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Hey, Jay.
Dad, look who's here.
How you doing? Okay?
I'm all right, I guess.
Yeah. So why don't you buzz off?
Oh.
You know, your mother dresses you ugly, too.
As soon as I kiss my wife here, goodbye.
Hey, Yo-Yo really thinks you two are married, huh?
So how are you doing, Danny, huh?
Fine. I just came by to see what Bottoms had to say about the camel.
Well, the axe hasn't quite fallen yet, but he's got us scrubbing the whole joint on our hands and knees.
Yeah. He thinks Ted's responsible for this whole thing.
Oh, some people get all the breaks, you know?
Well, can I help it if I'm a born hero? Hey, Danny, when are we going to get back to work on this motel?
Oh, yeah, you're right. We have a lot of work to do to set up for it.
I'll help whenever we're
I mean, you said you do some more carpentry and help us fix those drapes, right?
Yeah, I will, but I don't know if I can do as much as I want to.
Why not?
Cruz has me working out twice a day.
Wow.
Are you kidding?
Hey,
honey.
Mom, what are you doing here? Well, I got a few minutes break from the cafeteria, so I thought I'd try to catch you. Oh, hi, Danny.
Hi, Mrs. Perkins.
How are you?
Honey, I just spoke to Amy, and she's coming home.
Amy is? How come? Of course, she's coming home for Joe's memorial service, isn't she?
Yes.
What do you want?
I want to apologize for the way I spoke to you earlier over there.
Okay. Thanks. Look, I'm sorry, too.
Thank you. But I still want to give these back to you.
I really wish you'd keep them.
Warren, we don't know each other well enough.
Summer, I really want you to have them, okay? That wasn't just a peace offering. I picked them out because I thought they'd look good on you. I wasn't trying to buy your friendship.
Why do you want to give me gifts?
For a lot of reasons. Because I feel bad about the way I acted the other night. I like you. I thought you looked pretty with them on.
Warren, I don't know.
Look, you were kind to me when I burned my hand. I mean, you bandaged it up for me, made me feel better.
Anyone would have done that.
Man, people aren't as nice as you seem to think they are. I've had very few people I've met in my life that have gone out of their way to be nice to me. Maybe that was part of the problem.
What do you mean?
I mean, I didn't know how to handle it. Guess I overreacted. You know what I'd really like is to start over with you. Do you think that's a possibility?
Maybe.
I just want to convince you that there aren't 10 million other guys like me walking around the beach out there.
There aren't.
Hey,
What?
maybe you ought to hire me to move the stuff into your new apartment. I mean, you're going to have somebody, aren't you?
I don't know. Cost of hard help these days.
Hey, look. If you bargain hard enough, you can get me for a cheap price. As a matter of fact, one smile and I'd move your piano.
Sounds affordable.
Deal?
I'll have to think about it.
Sure, but you and I both know you're not going to get a better deal.
I just think that maybe I should get a piano so I can take full advantage of the offer.
Well, at least we're on the right track, huh?
5 years now I've been watching Brandon grow. I've monitored everything that's happened to him. I know he's had a good life. The best a boy could have. So you mustn't suddenly step in and disrupt him.
I don't know why you think I'll be disrupting anything. I simply just want...
Please, let me finish that. Stockman was older than Gina by years, but they both wanted a child desperately. So they talked to doctors and went through extensive testing. Finally, Stockman realized that he was never going to be able to have a son of his own. And a son is what he wanted most. He became depressed, and Gina was terribly disappointed too. Then when you and Channing came to me and told me you were pregnant, I immediately knew I had found a solution for both problems, and for myself as well. Because then I knew I would be able to keep in touch with my grandson.
That's all I want to do is to keep in touch.
Santana, the boy has been given everything in the material sense. But what's more important, he's been given love. To the day Stockman died, he worshipped Brandon. And after seeing Gina and Brandon together, I'm sure you realize how much she loves him.
Yes, I think she does.
And both Gina and Brandon have handled Stockman's death very well. Even though it's only been a few weeks, I know they're going to pull through just fine.
Well, that's wonderful. I think they'll pull through just fine, too. I just don't understand what it has anything to do with me.
Because, darling, if you barge in there...
I'm not going to barge in there. I mean, now listen to me. I listened to your side of the story, and now you listen to my side.
I know your side of it. It's unrealistic, and it's a direct contradiction of the agreement we reached 5 years ago.
Listen to me. I just want to see my child. I mean, I know that you spent his birthday with him, and you spent Christmas with him. Well, I would like to do the same. And I don't think I'll be disrupting any more than you do right now.
And who are you supposed to be, flitting in and out of his life? The Sugar Plum Fairy?
A friend. Listen, I can become friends with Gina. Or you introduce me as a friend of yours.
It would never work.
Why not?
Because it wouldn't be enough for you. You wouldn't be able to leave the situation alone. I know you, Santana.
That is not true, and you don't know me that well.
Well, I think I do. And I think I'm falling in love with you. Does that surprise you?
I guess it does.
Are you glad?
Cece, yes. I care about you, too.
Caring isn't the same as loving.
Cece, if you love me, then give me back my son.
That's the only thing you can't ask of me. I'd do anything for you, give you anything you want. But I can't let you have Brandon. It could traumatize him for the rest of his life.
To be his friend?
Eventually, he would want to be more than his friend.
So you'll give me anything I want except the thing that I want most.
Hey, I just put the finishing touches on your program. Come in.
I don't know if I can move to get in. Oh. I don't think I ever worked out this hard in my entire soccer career.
I can tell that by looking at you. If you had, it wouldn't be so tough for you now, you know.
I don't know why I asked you for help. I don't know if I'm going to survive this.
Sure you will. Do you a world of good, too. Sit down.
Yeah. How does running up and down stairs with 20-pound weights on do me any good?
Well, you see, it tricks your legs into thinking you've gained 20 pounds. And so then they get bigger and stronger so they can have you flying across those soccer fields you want to get so famous on.
Oh, suppose I don't want to do this. Suppose I don't want to be famous. Suppose I just want to lay down and not move for the rest of my life.
Suppose we discuss this tomorrow when you're running 2 miles in the sand with those weights on your hips again.
What? I feel like I'm in boot camp, Sarge.
You are, dog-face, and the more you complain, the more you feel the pain. So why don't you lie down for a while?
Oh, yeah. I'll do that.
On the floor, here. Give me 100 sit-ups. I want to start working on your gut. You can cool off later with, say, 50 one-handed push-ups each way.
You're kidding, right?
Do I look like I'm kidding? Come on, come on, come on. We're burning daylight.
Okay. Oh, I bet you're glad your house is near the beach, right?
Why is that?
Oh, so you can watch me when I die. Because I am going to die. And you know I'm going to die, right?
Yeah, I know, but you'll die healthy. Count them out loud.
Okay. 97, 98, 99.
Better make it 200.
101, 102.
I won't keep you long. I just have a few questions to ask you. You can have a seat if you like.
Nah, I'm okay.
Suit yourself. I just want to know how you got here.
Your mother-in-law hired me.
Yes, I know, but where did she find you?
Search me.
Well, I mean, do you think she just picked your name out of a hat?
You know, that's about all I can figure.
There must have been something that led her to you. Come on, you can tell me. If it's a secret, I won't tell anyone.
You think Mrs. Lockridge and me have something going on?
Stranger things have happened. I just want to know why she picked you.
I haven't a clue. All I know is she knows a lot more about me than I'd like her to know. She's done a hell of a lot of research on me for some reason. Now, you can find out why. I'd like to know.
I don't understand it. I mean, can you tell me where you were when she located you?
Sure. When she called me, I was racing motorcycles in Las Vegas.
Cafe racing?
Say what?
You race motorcycles?
Yeah, sometimes.
So she called you and asked you to come and work for her.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, I didn't take her seriously at first. I hung up and just forgot about it. The next day, she wired me some money. Told me it would cover my expenses to Santa Bárbara.
I don't believe you.
Augusta! It's not nice to accuse people of lying. I've told you that before.
I am just trying to find out what's going on around here. Now, either somebody is being deliberately evasive, or very stupid, or they're lying to me.
Well, Mother moves in mysterious ways. We all know that.
Granted, but she always has reasons for what she does, and I have a feeling our friend here knows the reason.
Well, I sure as hell don't. But I wish I did.
I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I'm sure we'll find out in time.
Yeah. But in time for what?
Exactly.
I love you. Now that I can say it, I want to say it over and over and over and over.
I love you too.
We wasted so much time, and it was all my fault. God, I hate myself.
Hey,
for that.
don't, babe, don't. Look, we've got a lot of time.
This is quite a change from our last plane trip. We were happy then.
I don't know how you expect me to be happy.
Santana, I'm very sorry you're upset.
Well, I'm way beyond upset. I also hate myself for letting this happen again.
Letting what happen?
For letting you talk me out of doing what is right. For letting you stop me from seeing my son.
Santana, I don't think we want to go into all of that right now.
Well, I do want to go into it, all right? I hate you for what you've done, and I hate myself even more. You know, everybody lets you get away with everything, and it's not fair.
What we have done was for the best, and someday you'll realize that.
No, I won't.
Well, I certainly hope you will.
Why don't you stop your calm and reasonable attitude? I hate it.
Well, there's no reason for both of us to become hysterical.
I am not getting hysterical. You know what you remind me of? You remind me of that nurse in Acapulco that put her hands over my eyes right after I gave birth to my child and wouldn't even let me see it. I bet you put her up to that.
Santana, what are you saying?
You're doing the same thing now. I want to go back to Los Angeles.
Just a minute. We're not going anywhere.
Listen, by stopping me from seeing my child, you are killing me.
Will you control yourself, please?
I don't want to listen to you anymore. I want to see my child, and I'm going back down there tomorrow, and I'm going to see him.
Then I'm warning you. If you do that, if you go back to Los Angeles, then I am finished with you forever. Is that what you want?
I want my son.
But you gave him up.
I was forced to.
You gave him up, and now you can't break that agreement.
I was a child. I didn't even know what I was agreeing to.
But you promised. Now, for the last time, I'm telling you to drop this thing. And if you do, we can go on seeing each other.
And if I don't?
Then you've destroyed everything. You'll lose your boy, and you'll lose me too. But please, I don't want you to do that. But it's up to you.